All right, so it's recording.
Mama.
Let's see who's here. Christian's here, Sean. Hello, everybody that's joining. We're going to get started here in a minute.
You need it?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get started here now. So if you don't know, my name is Erica Bryant. I'm part of the Elite Fortune Group, and I do a little different with my charting, but I have always had troubles with charting. So I finally figured out how to get it down and what works for me. And I will share with you how I chart and what I like to do. Every day at 5:00 p.m. US time, the cycle restarts for all the sessions. And so I like to start charting what the day's high and the day's low was from the previous day so that I can see what I'm going to get into for today. Because I like to trade for long periods of time, I like to cover the block of my high and low so that I can see where I'm going to get in and out of the chart. Let me explain. All right, now if you come here, I'm on a JAFX demo account. I use JAFX to trade live, and I also use this for my demo account. Practice around with my charting. I'm going to show you how to start from scratch. So if you open up your account and you go to File, and you want to start a new chart, you go to New Chart at the top of the screen. Hit New Chart. When you go to New Chart, you figure out which pairs you want to use. Right now, I'm doing a Euro odd. As you can see, I'm tracking it in my demo in a buy. It's been in a sell, but I'm tracking it in a buy just to test my theory. So I'm going to also use a chart for the Euro odd because that's what I personally like to trade. So Euro odd, here we go. Once you pull up your new chart and you go to the FX crosses, because it is not a major pair, it is a cross pair. The Euro odd is the cross pair because the Euro is the major and the odd is a minor, makes them a cross pair. So I pull up the Euro odd chart. This looks like a regular basic chart. What I like to do for my own purpose is I like to pull the chart to the very end, shift to the end of the chart so I can see the current time. This is how I like to look at it, okay? This is my day chart. This is going to show me, no, it's not. This is my day chart. This is going to show me here on the chart, yesterday's high and lows. That's what I'm looking for. Just make sure it's taking me there. All right. I'm going to zoom in some. Closer. This is how the chart comes up plain. I'm going to show you how to modify your chart to make it look the way you want it to look. Now we're going to go to bars. I already have a template created, but I'm not going to do that for you. I'm going to show you how to do your own.
It's not a template. It's a template.
In my language, being from Jamaica, I call it template, and that's what we're going to call it today, template. If you know what I mean, T-E-M-P-L-A-T-E, template. All right, so You can go in here and you can change the properties at the bottom. And you can make your bull candle and your bear candle the color you like. I like mine to be red and black. My bull, a green candle. You can pick which green you like. I like regular green. Change my bear candle to red. If you're on the bar, same thing. You can change them to bars, green. Bear red. Sorry, bar down red. Okay. You can change your background from black to white to whatever color you choose. You can also change your grid, your graph lines, whatever you need to change the properties to reflect what your eyes like to see. Okay, so this is how I like mine to personally look. This is my daily chart. This is my last candle on the end. Right here. Right here. Okay, so I have a little thing that I use, and you don't have to follow the same way I do it, but let me show you. What is this? What is this ugly purple line here for? I don't know what that is, but I want it to go away. All right, I use a Fibonacci, and I take and draw Fibonacci against the last candle because I like to break down the high and the low of that particular candle. This is my technique and my strategy that works for me. And you can, it seems to work for other people because they've used it. So take a fib by going up here to the Fibonacci retracement. And I start from the bottom of this wick and I pull it to the top of the wick. Really simple, just like that. It's blurry right now, but I'm about to make it larger so you can see it. And this is the way I cheat to show how you can see stuff. I pull up the show, you hit the Fibonacci, and show it, and it makes it larger on the screen over here. Let me change the color so you can also see this. Properties. I'm going to change it to yellow. It's easier to see with yellow. Okay. Now, the reason why I use this Fibonacci is because I like to break the candle down itself into zones. The top of the candle, the high, I call that the sell zone, and the bottom of the candle, I call it a buy zone. And in the middle, I call it no man's land. If price falls in between no man's land, I don't even trade. I wait to see if it's going to go into the sell zone or the buy zone. And what I mean by that, I'm going to show you as well. Since it's today's candle, this is the wrong candle. I need to go to the one before. So let me change that. I need to go to the previous candle for yesterday's candle. You can check it by hovering on top of it and seeing the date that comes up. All right, so I was on the right candle. I'm sorry. So let's do it again. Fibonacci from the bottom of the wick all the way to the top of the wick, which is right here. Simple. I break this down into 3, starting from the bottom of the wick, which is the 100 to the 0, and I put in these little cute little rectangles. You'll see why I do this. It makes sense. And I start here. And I put me a little rectangle. From here, from the 100 to the 61, I break the square down into 3s if you have to be particular of why it's like that. Because I don't know how to use it that well, I have to do it. You know, some people are real fast, they can click and make it pretty. I'm not that person, so I have to do it the old lady way. Bring it down to the 100, all the way up to the 61. And I make this candle green because this is my sell zone. And I'm gonna make it a lighter green so I can see it on top of the other greens. And I take another rectangle and I insert another rectangle from the 0 to the 38. Just like this. And then I'm going to change the property of this. Sorry. I'm change this to a light red because this is going to be my sell zone. The reason why it's like that, let me break it down. Every candle has a high and a low of the day. If it turns green, it's going in a certain direction. If it turns red, it's going in another direction. But the candle speaks for the whole day. So the bottom half of the candle, which is more of your buying zone, the bottom of the candle, that's where the buyers were more into the trade. The top of the candle is when the sellers were more into the trade. So what I did is break the candle apart so that I can see the zones. The middle is usually when they're doing accumulation or consolidation and trying to decide. So that middle part for me, and even if you did a Fibonacci or 5061 within that, it's just not, I'm waiting for price to either reach above it or below it so I know how to get into the trade. So I personally break the candle down on my day chart so I can know what zone is going to show up. And you'll see why I do this in a minute. And I want it to be a light red so that I can see it against the. All right, there we go. Now, I'm going to remove the fib now that it's on there because it's just going to confuse you later. Oh, really, Erica? Yeah, sorry. I have to draw this rectangle again. Sometimes it's not fun and sometimes it takes a while, but once you do it enough, it becomes really simple. And then you can keep this on your chart forever and you have some type of history to trade off of. All right, now object list. Fibo. Delete it. All right, now look at how this looks now. Now go from my day to my 4-hour chart because I like to trade for a while. And I'll bring it up. Maybe the 1 hour. Or your 15-minute. Because it's 5 o'clock, it's not doing anything. But if you can see how the price is in the buy zone for me at the bottom, that lets me know where price has fallen at 5 o'clock. Looks like price is going to be in a buy. I might let this ride some more for another hour, and then I'll be able to know, determining from each time frame, my high and my low for the day. See, you can see where price has come into. Price at 5 o'clock came in at a buy. So now I know I'm in a buy zone. If it came in at the top, I know I'm in a sell zone. If it's in the middle, that's no man's land. I'm waiting for price to figure out if it's going to go to the top of the candle or the bottom, and I'm not sure. So that's why I do it this particular way. If you set your high and the low, it's only going to show you this top part and this bottom part. I like to have this little safe zone personally for myself to see where price is going to fall, because this tells me a better story. Now, I'll show you again on another one. We can do Euro Chiff. Euro Chiff. I'm going to go to the day chart. I'm sorry, any questions? I meant to ask you that. I apologize. Any questions so far? No? Everybody understand my madness and why I separate the candle like that into 3 parts? All right, cool. All right. No questions are better than that.
This Jay, I get it, but
I was trying to figure out, because I'm trying to like look at like my demo and look at yours, because I
Mhm.
actually use what I use FX Choice,
Mhm.
so that's what I'm using, the classic demo. So I'm just really just trying to correlate, but I did get the whole point of breaking it up. That actually makes sense. So it's like buy zone, sell zone, no man's land. So that helps.
Mhm.
But what I'm confused on is the little Fibonacci thing. Like I didn't get that.
I'm sorry, one more time. What did you say about the Fibonacci?
I don't get it.
Oh, right. Okay. So I only use the Fibonacci to give myself a way to break the candle down. The Fibonacci is not used to trade. I just use it to put it across the candle. And I know from the top to 100, I can break it down into threes. That's the only reason why I use the Fibonacci, so I can dissect the candle. It's not
Okay.
used to trade. I just use it as a liner to put my rectangles.
Okay.
Usually between the 0 and 31 will be your sell zone. The 51 to the 68 is your no man's land, and then from the 60 to the bottom of 100 is usually your buy zone. That's how I break down the candle. Okay.
Now, is those numbers the same for all candles?
Like if I was to pull the Fibonacci right now, the numbers, the values don't change, but it can go high and low. Like, let me show you right here on this. If I pull
Okay.
my Fibonacci up on this huge red candle, you see how the numbers spread, but it starts
Uh-huh.
at the top with a 0, 0. 0, 0's at the top, and then 38 is here. So this whole top area right here is considered my sell area.
Gotcha.
And then from the 38 to the 61, I call this my no man's land. And then from the 61 to 100, I call this my buy zone.
Gotcha.
All I'm doing is taking the candle and breaking it down into threes. That's all.
Got it.
Got it? Now you can also do the same thing by putting a support and resistant line at the top and the bottom of the wicks. That's how
This
they show
actually
you. Go
this
ahead.
actually makes more sense because that support and resistance had my head hurt and I was getting
Right.
frustrated. But this actually makes sense. Like I like your breakdown of it.
I mean, that's what worked for me, because support and resistance was too confused and I couldn't tell when to get into a trade. And
And
so,
that's where I'm stuck at, because I'm sitting there like, okay, where's my support? Where's my resistance? And it's like I understand it, but when I'm looking at it, I can't make it conceptually make sense to
mhm.
me in action. But this act, like I said, makes sense. Like, okay, there's my sell zone, here's my buy zone, and no man's land. Got it.
Right. And if the trade opens up at 5 o'clock, I do this. So say, for example, you get up at 7 at night, go to your 5 o'clock candle on your day chart and do the same thing on it and make it spread for your whole day. And then you'll be able to trade in a 4-hour window, a 1-hour window, or whatever time frame, but you'll see the no man's land of where you should not be trading. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I get it. Now let me ask you this. Now, when I want to go back and look at the time frame, like say, like you said, if it's 7 o'clock and I want to go back and look and see what happened at 5 o'clock, how do I do that on the chart?
Well, because the day candle will not create for today until tomorrow, when it finishes at 5 o'clock tomorrow, no matter what time you get up, still do this on the day chart. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll still be the previous days until 5 o'clock the next day.
So Erica, does this work on all time frames?
I like to do it on the day. I start off on the day, the daily, and put my time and break the candle down like this on my day. And then you'll be able to see the same zones on any other time frame.
Okay, so switch to other time frames so they can see it. I think that will answer her question.
Okay, so
If she saw, and then point out the 5-hour candle that's forming.
got you. Okay. So here is today's candle right here with the fib on top of it. Let me remove the fib so you can see it. All right, it looks really small compared to what it looked like before. But let me try to. Let me try to make it so you can see it larger. There it is. All right. So this is the today's candle. Basically, it's not even all of today. This is from yesterday, from the start of 5 p.m. yesterday to today, 5 p.m. So this candle will be the only candle you will see until tomorrow at 5 p.m. when the candle is fully completed. So no matter what time today you get on, this candle will not, you won't see another candle until 5 o'clock tomorrow once it's full and complete. And when you move from the daily, you can go from the day chart, which I'm on now, to the hour chart. And it's not 6 o'clock yet, so no candle has formed for you to see where price is going to go yet. If I go into the 30-minute chart, "30 minutes hasn't came yet, so we're still waiting on it to form. 15 minutes, you see that price is coming into a buy zone in a 15-minute chart. Now, if you wanted to, you could trade on 15 minutes with this knowing it's in a buy, but that's up to you. And then you have a 5-minute chart where it shows, see, if you got into a buy, you'd be winning. Buy, buy, buy. And then the minute chart, same thing. So what that little bit of rectangle time has showed you the zones on other time frames. Let me do another one for you here. Oh, any questions before I go to do it one more time?
Nope, I'm with you.
You with me? Okay.
Yep, I feel you.
You feel me? All right, so we're going to do this again. File. We're going to a new chart. This is a cross pair I like to do. Euro Chiff. You're in the crosses. I don't know what all these lines are, baby. What you got going on up here? What's this?
You're asking me?
Yeah. All right. You all don't see those little red squiggly lines. I don't know. We're just going to blame it on the baby because we don't know where they come from. All right. Fresh new chart. We're going to go to the bar candle. You can do all those pretty properties and stuff, but since I already have one created, I think I did. No, won't save on this computer. Oh, that sucks. Okay. All right. Well, day chart it is. Go to your daily. Get out the way, please. Thank you. All righty. Go to my properties. This is definitely on the computer, so this is weird. All right. And I'm going to change my bull candle. Oh, sheesh. Pushed it too soon. Am I doing this right? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to do the bar up. Same thing, green. Bar down, red. All right. Okay. I don't know what all this stuff is in the background. I really think it sucks. Okay. I'm all the way in on the end there. Zoom out. Come on, computer. Get you hitting the little arrow. I mean, the little plus sign zooms you in. You can see the day starting right there. See, it's 4/12. That's for tomorrow. But this is the candle we're talking about. You can hover over top of it. Make sure it's the actual candle you want. All right, and then I'm going to take my Fibonacci. I'm going to take it from the bottom of the wick and pull it up to the top. the very top of that wick. You can't miss a little piece of it. It's important. All right, and if you needed to see it closer, you hit show. It'll show it to you. See, I like it like that. Now I'm going to take and insert the rectangles I have. You go to insert shapes, rectangle, from the 100, which the wick is down there, all the way to up to the 61. All right, so pull it all the way down. Well, I close that first. All right, and I need to change the color because on the bottom is the buy zone. The bottom is the buy zone. The bottom is my buy zone. And then I'm going to get me another one of these shapes. And I'm going to make a rectangle at the top. All the way to the 38. I'm going to change her to a light color red, just so I can see her. Cell zone. I'm going to remove the fib Machi because it doesn't have anything to do with trading and I don't want to confuse anyone. So delete it, close. Now when I change it from the day chart to the hour chart, now I can see what prices come in at. I can see where I am on this 30 minutes. $15-minute chart. Price is so in the middle of the no man's zone right now. I wouldn't know what to do in the trade until it fell into one of the zones on the top or the bottom. Anyone have any questions so far? I follow structure, so I don't put a whole lot of trend lines and stuff like that personally.
So just hypothetically, say I wanted to enter the trade, say it finally went into the buy zone. How would I know where the stop loss is?
So that's all.
Taylor's not here today.
The stop loss will be, I like to do 1-to-1. So if it's, you say if it's in the buy zone, where would you put your stop loss? That's what you asked?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If it's in the buy zone, then you put it, let's say how many pips. If you know how many pips you have.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Look for the last high. Okay, we're gonna let Conscious help us on this answer. Give a good answer, baby.
So basically, your stop loss, they stop hunt. So IML teaches you to use, I don't know, 30 pips, something like that. But in the reality, you need like 50 pips of stop loss generally, unless you're like getting in once it's already moving. So if you place it before it actually leaves, it's kind of hard to say exactly, but I say as long as the high from yesterday isn't taken out, then the trade is still valid.
I got you. So really I should be basing it on like what am I willing to lose in terms of my risk management?
Yeah.
And then 1 and 3%.
Yeah.
Yep. So not only that, not only what are you willing to lose, but you have to also figure out exactly where you're entering the price. So what Lamont and Erica are saying with the high of the day, find where the high of the day is. Okay, so if you're entering close to that, now take it from 30 to 50 pips from there, and that's your stop loss.
Right. So the high of the day
But
will
it
be
really
the top.
depends on where you're entering.
Right.
So like you see that green candle with the high wick next to the red candle.
You move it to this one.
Yes. Yeah.
That would be like kind of like a stop hunt. So you kind of look for the attack to the top. So don't get into the trade until you see it spike to the high. It's going to always try to test the high or the low. And then once it spikes and comes back down and the next candle closes, and you see that spinning top, and you know the momentum is changing, and then it's more likely, because it could still turn back around and come back up and you retest that 2, 3, 4, 5 times before it actually makes its move.
Yeah. Price opened up in the buy, but it hit the high all the way to the top of that sell, and now it's starting to come back down.
Yeah, you see that?
The 4 hours, so you're coming down, and it's
That long spike, that's your stop hunt. So everyone who had stop losses, 30 pips, 25 pips, they got taken
all
out.
this took out all those pips right there.
That's where they open the spread on you and start
taking everybody money. Do we have any other questions so far before, we can do this one more time? Or I do this every day. And so I have different colors for every day that shows different zones. And it just helps me see where to get in and out of a trade.
So
It's all about IML.
So can you show me one more time? Because I was driving when you first started, so I was hearing but not seeing what you did.
Sure.
So can you show me what you did now that I'm actually parked for a second?
All right, let's see. I have another pair I can do. I'll do all chips. Okay. New chart. It's a cross pair. I don't know where these magical lines showed up on the computer, and I'm not trying to figure it out right now, so bear in mind with me. All right, I'm going to go to the day chart, your daily chart. Up here on the top, you can scroll it to the end, and it'll take you to the very end of the day. Okay. You're going to go in here, you can change your properties. I don't know what this line is, but it's up. Change the color of my candles. Bar down. Bar up. So if you like bars or candles, it doesn't matter. However you want to mark it, you can mark it up. Okay. Oh, Lord, I did something wrong. Sorry. What did I do? That's what I did. All right. Zoom it in. Make them bars. Zoom it in. All right. I'm gonna hover over top of the candle to make sure I'm on the right candle. This is the candle that's creating for tomorrow at 5 p.m. So this candle right here is yesterday's high and low. This is where I want to mark yesterday's high and low because the cycle starts at 5 o'clock p.m. And I like to start my charts at 5 p.m. Okay. Using this, I take a Fibonacci, not because I'm using it to trade. I use the Fibonacci to dissect the candle. And I take it from the very bottom of that wick. Don't try to lose any of it because it's important. All the way to the top of the wick.
So you say you don't use the last candle because it's still happening, for the day is not over for today, so you use yesterday's.
Right. The cycle starts at 5 p.m. every day. So the candle that you see to the right of it is starting the
Still
next
today.
day, the days, yeah. And so we need the full day's candle, and the only one that's available to us is yesterday's.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And then the Fibonacci you take from the bottom to the top, all of it.
Yes, all of it, from the bottom of the whole wick. The wick is very important.
Okay.
Now, once I do this, I only use this Fibonacci to break the candle down into threes. That's it. And I use the 100 to the 61 as what I call the buy zone. And then the 61 to the 50 is the no man's land. And then the 38 to the 0 is my sell zone. I'm gonna show you how this works. Okay, I made it a little bigger so I can see it better. You're gonna take and insert a shape, a rectangle. Start at the 100. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect at first. You can go in and align your lines. I might want to close that. All right, just like that. I'll move as fast as everybody, so bear with me.
So your 38 to 50 was your sell
No,
zone?
this is going to be a buy zone at the bottom. Let me explain it to you. On every candle, you have the open and close of the day, the high and low of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so, although the candle is green, that doesn't give you the whole story of what happened through the day. So
Correct.
the bottom of the candle, I believe the buyers are more involved.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it gets to the top, the sellers are more involved. So instead of trying to look at it in a red and green, high and low, I break down the candle itself. And the bottom of the candle tells me one zone and the top tells me another.
Gotcha.
Got me? Okay. So the bottom is my buy zone. So I need this to be a light green.
That was a good explanation. I never heard it like that.
Thank you. Thank you. I tried. I've been doing this. Okay, insert another shape. We're going to go from the 0 to the 38.
0 to 38.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm trying to remember this so when I get home I can write it down because I'm still in the car.
It's
But from
recorded.
100
It's recorded.
Oh, good. Okay. Okay, good.
And then you're going to go to your... It'll be much faster once you do this, so you can also save the template and just continue to use it once you do it.
Okay.
And I'm going to change this to a light pink so I can see it. All right, sell zone at the top, no man's land in the middle, buy zone on the bottom. Then I'm going to remove the Fibonacci so it doesn't confuse anyone later on. Actually, yeah, this is good enough. Okay, now once you move it from the daily chart to your 4-hour chart, 4 hours hasn't passed, so you won't be able to see anything yet, really. Okay. Let's go to the 15-minute. See where price is all up in the sell zone. Price is all in the sell zone.
Mm-hmm.
This just gives me, this lets me know where price started in the sell, and it hasn't hit the high of the day yet, hasn't touched it yet. The high will be the very top, the top of this zone.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't reached this yet, right?
Correct.
It doesn't have to touch, but it's not even in this area yet. So I'm waiting for price to do that. But right now, if I wanted to trade off of a 15-minute or something, I know that it's in a sell and it's going a certain way.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't trade right now because right now the price is.
The lows have been set for the day.
The highs and lows have been set for the day, right?
They're being set.
They're being set for the day, Conscious says. So you want to listen to Conscious?
Don't trade from 5 to 12
at night. That's his recommendation.
You said do not trade from 5 p.m. to 12 a.m. at night.
Look this.
If pretty much after about 2 o'clock, the market is in consolidation. At 5 o'clock, the market resets. That's where you get your beginning of the day high and low, right?
Gotcha.
But each session, so you have the Asian session, you have the London session, the New York session, and the Sydney session. They all have highs and lows. So each session is going to have a high and a low.
So you're still, though, you're still, I guess I'm saying, you're saying when 5 o'clock, like when 5 o'clock hits today, you're not trading, and you're saying you're waiting, you're not trading during Asian London with this strategy.
No, you're not trading during the Asian session. Basically, the Asian session is a trap to get you basically enticed into a sell or a buy. But you don't really know which way they're going to go. So once 12 o'clock hits, it's the start of a new session. So that's when the money begins to start to flow a little bit better. So anywhere between 12 and 4.
That's a good time to trade.
Okay.
So basically, like in the evening, that's when we should just really be getting our game strategy ready for the next day.
That's what we do. That's why I come down and chart at 5, and then after I'm done, I do all my charts. I do all the pairs, and then I start looking for the high and the low and write it down so I can think of entry points and go from there.
I see. Nice. Okay. I love that.
Anyone else have questions? Are you the only one here? No, there's other people here. All right. Do I need to go over another one? Does everyone feel comfortable with what I showed them?
I'm comfortable. Just I want to see the recording one more time, and I think I got it.
I'll do this again. We're going to start doing this. You have to follow structure.
And keep in mind, we also have Saturday, so this will come again.
Okay.
It is being recorded, and I would love for you all to practice because I will be calling on everyone to participate. You're only going to get better if you're doing it. It's going to help you not only learn, but it's going to help you present this information to new people. You know, you can't talk about something you don't know, and how better to know it than to do it.
Good
So
point.
if you're working on your 2 and free, you want to sign up to do these webinars.
Plus, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
It helps you
It
conceptualize.
definitely does.
It helps you conceptualize everything that you're learning and put it to action. So you don't want to just take trades from people giving you trades. You want to actually get involved and start taking what they say and trying to chart it and look at it and see how price moves up and down. IML is there for you, but you have to actually apply the information, not just some of it.
Yep. Very true.
But I really appreciate everyone coming. Conscious has something he wants to say. You follow the M's in the red zones. You want to look for structure. You want to make sure an M is being created in the red zone and W's are being created in the green zone.
Okay.
That helps. Then once you see those movements, that's when you place the trades.
Structure.
Okay.
Structure is important.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I hope this helped everyone. If you have any questions, you can always put questions into the Elite Fortune group or post it on our Facebook page. We're here to help you anytime. Let us know.
Yep, I appreciate you all. Remember, we'll be having these twice a week, and we will be rotating presenters. So we do have this listed as charting for beginners. If you have a strategy that you want to use, we'll be using that. But at this moment, guys, I'm going to go enjoy Philadelphia. You all enjoy your evening.
Exactly. You all have a good day.
Have a
Be
good
safe
one.
out
Thank
there.
you.
All right, guys.
All right. I'll talk to you all soon.